The Colorado River Drought. Paul Bruches, a man whose family has owned a Colorado ranch for generations, is starting to feel the consequences of the Colorado River drought. The 22-year-long drought has brought many difficulties to not only his family, but millions of others as well. Paul and his neighbors are constantly finding new strategies to save water, just barely having enough for his ranch and family. Soon, families like Paul's, who rely so heavily on the river, will have to find another way, and fortunately, many won't be able to. The 1,450-mile Colorado River supplies 40 million people with drinking water, 16 million people with jobs, and 5.5 million acres of farmland with irrigation. With all this in mind, the river is at the top of the list for most endangered rivers in America. With the drying of the river, people are facing an economic and ecosystemic collapse. The Colorado River Compact, an agreement between Nevada, California, Arizona, Wyoming, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado, could be the first step in reversing the drought. If this agreement is tweaked, it could ensure the 7 states could share the smaller river equally. The Colorado River has had outdated water management, causing a lot of water to be used and wasted. Outdated management is a main cause in a lot of wasted water from the river. Leaking water pipes is a big reason why so much water is lost. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, 4 of the 7 states in the Colorado River Compact have water loss requirements. Utah, New Mexico, and Wyoming have no water loss requirements, which is very alarming. Not just leaking water pipes, but people using water on grass that needs a lot of water to survive. According to the Albuquerque Journal, 50% of all the water we use outside is wasted. The turbines in the Colorado River is a huge energy producer. If the water levels drop a certain amount, the turbines are unable to produce power, making cities like Las Vegas very hard to operate. The Colorado River Compact has worked for a while, but as the river continues to decrease, the rules and regulations just are not enough to sustain everyone using it. Lake Powell, the second largest reservoir on the river, has dropped to only 25% of its full capacity. According to the Los Angeles Times, former governor of Arizona, Bruce Babbitt, thought the 7 states could get by while leaving the agreement unchanged. But with the Colorado River drying up so quickly, the pact needs to be updated, he says. Babbitt even says it's absolutely urgent that we start thinking now, while there's time, about how we adjust to the compact, the regulations, and the necessary reductions. The Colorado River Compact has been around for 100 years, George Sibley says. As the states continue to grow, the river cannot accommodate for the amount of people that use it. George says their initial strategy was to prevent the overuse of Colorado River by determining what each state could equitably use. That failed because the cumulative sum of what each believed they deserved added up to considerably more than the river's average flow. Another reason the compact needs to be revised is because the compact was based on the assumption that the river would constantly be providing a certain amount of water each year. This has not been the case in recent years due to the drought. Additionally, the compact did not take into account the impacts climate change would have on the river. Additionally, the compact has avoided incorporating allegations for the Native American tribes. These tribes have been largely cut out of the decision about the Colorado River management, says Jennifer Pitts. These tribes, who have been using the river for centuries, have been given an unfair amount of say in the river. Many of these tribes have no other way of life and need the river to survive. With the 7 states using up so much of the river and leaving little for the Native Americans, it's only fair that they should get more of a say in the compact. We could reverse the effects of the drought by updating the Colorado River Compact. This agreement is too old to keep up with how fast the river is drying. Changing the agreement made in 1922 would help deal with the drought and give the 7 states a better way to address this situation. This would help the imbalance between the demand and water supplies that have made the reservoirs drop so low. Because the agreement was made in 1922, the agreement failed to take dry periods into account. With the growing of the population and the drought, the Colorado River cannot keep up. Changing the amount of water each state can take from the river is essential to keeping it from drying up even more. Instead of getting rid of the compact, making tweaks to it could ensure the 7 states share the burden of the small river equally. Elevating potentially significant cuts to the water use in the Upper Basin states, says Jennifer Yachin, an expert on water and drought policies. The compact should keep the mandate that says the Upper Basin states cannot reduce the flows to the Lower Basin states. The Upper Basin states shall not cause the flow to go below 70 million acre feet every 10 years. But as time goes on, it's nearly impossible for these states to do so. Instead of dividing the water via a specific flow, the river should be divided by percentages to respond to the changing of the river. People believe that the Colorado River Compact should stay the same because every state should have equal share in the river. Although this sounds reasonable, different states may require more water than others to be sustainable. Additionally, by changing the Colorado River Compact, the states using the river would change how they view water. Water would become more valuable, causing the states to use it wiser. The states could adopt more of an efficient plumbing system and fix the water distribution system so they won't lose as much water. Not only that, but the rest of the states could make it illegal to have high-use watercrass. Another way the states could save water is by increasing funds for urban and agricultural efficiency. Many states would rethink the amount of water used on agriculture, and agriculture uses about 80% of a river's water. There are many ways to use less water when farming. The Nature Conservancy says replacing thirsty crops with more drought-adapted crops can make a huge difference. The Colorado River Compact is a historic agreement that has provided a framework for water allocation and management in the Colorado River Basin. However, there are several areas where it needs to be revised. The agreement between all of the states is revised and agreed on could have an incredible effect on the river. Many millions of people rely on this river as a way of life. If not taken seriously, terrible consequences could occur, as 40 million people could be without drinking water and even 16 million without jobs. The drought will continue to keep getting worse if these states don't do something about it.